We are here and we are talking back to the UFC. Let's get it, yo! What's up, y'all? Had a week off, got a little bit of energy here today, and just pounded a Celsius, so I'm good to go, ready to talk, and we're back. Back for another show, back for another day of winning us some money. Now, I have a little thing here. I have to shout out to one of the followers, one of the guys who I always, he's always watching. I can just tell. He's always commenting. He's one of the good ones. This guy comments last week and tells me, hey man, you should probably recheck your Horagachi? Whoever that was, the Asian guy from 2 weeks ago, I can never say his name right, and right now I'm on the spot, in the spotlight, and I cannot put his name down, but Hungadi told me I should have, he's going to make me a believer, so here, this is for you, Hungadi. I'm a believer! Can't really sing the song, but I believe. He made me a believer. Beating Elmir Albanzi like that was a good win for Hakorji? Gosh, I can never say his name right and it bugs me. I'll get it down. I'll listen to some John Anik saying it and John Anik. Because if you ever don't know a guy's name, just John Anik can find it. And it's most likely already there. Once you say it, you can get a sound thing through Google, which John Anik saying it, which is really fun. But that's not what we're here for. We're not even really reviewing last week's Mario Bautista Vinicius Oliveira fight. All I have to say is, when you got a fighter that you really like, sometimes you just gotta ride the coattails on him, man. Even when he loses and the other guy looks that good, you gotta ride the coattails of your fighter sometimes, even when you think he's gonna lose. And my guy Mario Bautista, 2 weeks ago, beat up Vinicius Oliveira, and I thought he was gonna get his ass kicked. So it happens. I don't really know what to do with my hands right now, but it happens. So, not going to fully review that card other than, you know what, I didn't even count the right and wrong. There's two fights that didn't happen on there, so it went from a 13 leg to an 11 leg, and we had 7 right out of the 11 legs. So we just got by, again, with what we like to do on percentage-wise. It's not going to happen every week. Every week you bet it's not going to happen. And a couple weeks ago, I had a $5 parlay that I got for free when I was driving through Iowa. I think I mentioned this. The flipping parlay didn't hit by the two underdogs that didn't hit. And I was very upset about that. So I'm probably going to stick away from parlays unless they're completely free bets anymore, because the parlays have just been down. I noticed that in the NFL this year. On my app, it was very interesting because last year, or when I checked at the beginning of the year, and I think I came out either even or like $100 or $200 under on the NFL season before I quit going down there weekly. It was very good, but I just got to get back to doing single picks, man. Get the bankroll for it and just roll with single picks, because the parlays this year have just, the percentage is so low, it just doesn't happen. And the Philly Fly Show is not about that, so we haven't been giving you parlays at all recently. Might start up again here with some more stuff. And if you haven't checked out Zuffa Boxing yet, check that shit out, dude. That is some good boxing. I'm not the biggest boxing fan, I'll give you that. And I've said this before, say it again, it's because the top of the tops didn't fight each other. They start there now, so it's kind of cool to see. But then there is no middle class in boxing, whereas like UFC, you have, scaling pay. So, and that's another thing, don't get me started on UFC scaling pay when people just start talking out their ass when they don't know a thing about the pay. That one is a big game changer now that Paramount's going in there working on it. The lower end guys are going to start getting paid good money. They're going to be the middle class, and the middle class, they're going to be making even more. So going to work itself out. People need to calm down. I don't mind some of the low-end fighters getting paid what they do, but my problem with UFC paying, I've always said this, is when you have a big name like that kickboxing dude who beat Alex Pereira. I don't remember if he beat Alex Pereira, but he fought Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. He got a Dana White's Contender Series fight, killed it, knocked dude out really, really quick. But when they offered him the contract, he's like, I can't fight for that. Like, I couldn't feed my family. And people are all upset that he didn't join. Well, if dude's making 80,000, I think it's like around 80,000 to 100,000 a fight minimum through kickboxing. He's been doing that for years, so he's making probably more than that. For him to come take a 10,000 fight, 10,000 to show, 10 for a win, maybe get that 50K bonus, wasn't worth it for him. But now that they're in the Paramount era and they're redoing these deals, I have a feeling we're going to see that guy in the UFC soon. So, kind of prolong this. I'm already, 6 minutes in, but it's been 2 weeks. I wanted to get some stuff off my chest. I had to get Hungadi a shout out for being right on that one. But hey, we're here for UFC Fight Night. It's a badass main event fight. Sean Strickland, Anthony Hernandez. Let's just jump into it. We got 14 fights here on this card if everything goes through. Haven't seen any drop off yet, but it's fight day. Anything can happen. So we'll jump into it here. We have a flyweight female fight. Match leg number 14, Juliana Miller versus Carly Judas. Judas is a -850 favorite, whereas Juliana Miller is a +545 underdog. I don't like those numbers whatsoever. Maybe 46. 546. Sorry, not 545. Get you that extra dollar, y'all. Flyweight, females, it's a badass fight. Juliana Miller is no slouch, but Carly is just going to be too much for her with the striking. And to be honest with you, I can't remember if she's a pure grappler at all. I know Juliana Miller is well-rounded, but mainly striking. I have a feeling Carly's the same way. But again, off the top of my head right now, not looking at what she's fought in the past, not going to call her a grappler. Both girls can strike, and we're going to see a little bit of a banger to kick off this card. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level. Carly can get her hand raised. Now, matchup number 13 here is a featherweight male fight. It's a decent fight. We got Jordan Leavitt, the weirdo in the ring that does a weird thing after he wins a fight. Yeah, dudes don't need to be doing that in the ring. That's kind of weird. And then you got Yader Del Valle. Now, Yader, I think that was the guy, if I remember right, that's the guy who fought the dude, I can't remember his name, that he didn't forfeit the fight. What's the word? He botched the fight. The odds makers, a bunch of money came in on the underdog, which would have been, I think was him, and he threw the fight. That's the word I'm looking for. Ding, ding, ding. He threw the fight. So, Yadir got a win on that one, but I still think Yadir might have got a win on that one. Even though they were a little close, he's a good fighter. Yadir's a -420 favorite over Jordan Leavitt, who's a +310 underdog. Look, Yadir's going to mess this dude up, and it's going to be nasty. Jordan Leavitt, I always thought he was a really, really good fighter until, I want to say it was his last fight or the fight before, but he just got worked, man. He showing up, worked, and he might not be a guy for this featherweight division. He doesn't get a win on Saturday, too. This guy could be cut from the UFC. We've seen what the UFC has been doing with these cuts on some big names, some of these lower-end names. Yeah, you guys might not be in the UFC much longer. You got to put up or get out. Yadir, though, gets his hand raised after that fight. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level. He can get his hand raised. We'll jump to the welterweight division. Match leg number 12. Phil Rowe versus Jean-Paul Lebanoy. Now, Jean-Paul's a -210 favorite, making his UFC debut against a vet like Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe's a +168 underdog. Y'all, I don't care how well-rounded this guy is. Phil Rowe's got a crazy arm length, crazy reach. He can freaking blast you into oblivion with that crazy reach, and he can also grapple. So, This dude, to make his UFC debut, picked the wrong person to do it against. Phil Rowe's going to get a big, big win on Saturday because of his experience. Experience can be just so crucial in UFC fights, man, especially when you make your UFC debut and you get that adrenaline dump. Phil Rowe's going to get a big win, 3 out of 5 on the confidence level. He can do it. Stay in the welterweight division for matchup number 11. We got Ramiz Brahima versus Pinele Soriano. Now, Soriano, -104. Ramirez, -118. Essentially a pick'em. A little bit of the edge to Ramirez, but I really, really like Ramirez and his game. Soriano has got it. He's got the striking. He can grapple. His gas tank is a little to be suspect. But that was when he was at middleweight. He has moved to welterweight. I swear I have that. I'm like 1,000% sure I have that right, because I was following his career and then he just did some bad outings and I didn't stay up with his career. And then his last fight was a guy I did not think he had a chance against in the welterweight division, and he smoked him. Just smoked him. And I think the welterweight division might be his division. Yes, it's weight cutting, and people call it weight bullying, but sometimes you're just too small for the weight that you're closer to, and sometimes you got to go down. Sometimes it's vice versa. In Soriano's case, he's got those hands, man. And the problem with Ramirez and why I'm picking Soriano to win, obviously, if you can tell by what I'm leading to, Ramirez likes to get hit in the head. He will stand and bang. He'll take one to give one or two, and you cannot do that against Soriano. He will put your lights out really quick. I have a bad feeling Ramirez is going to fall into that trap. That he's going to think that he can take those shots, and he cannot. I'm telling you, he cannot. Soriano's going to get a win, but I'm not super confident on it since these guys are good fighters on each side. Both well-rounded, like I said. Lack of, for one, is gas. Well, you know what? Both of them lack gas tank in the end. We'll see what this 3-round fight brings us. Soriano gets a win, 1 out of 5 on the confidence level that he gets his hand raised. Bantamweight female fight. This one is a good one. I cannot wait for this fight. I don't know. Don't ask me why. I love both these girls. I've watched both of them. I didn't want to pick a winner, but I want to watch these girls just slang and bang. All right, Nora Cornell versus Jocelyn Edwards. It's number 12. Nora Cornell versus 14th ranked Jocelyn Edwards. Yo, Jocelyn Edwards, man, she has got, like some thick, like thighs. Her waist, you'll look at it, you'll be like, dude, this girl's got like the look of a brawler. And you look on the other side at Nora, and she's got, with her tattoos and everything, she looks like a fighter. So it's just two badass fighters fighting each other. And the one thing I really like about Jocelyn Edwards and her game, and it's not a knock even against Nora, is that Jocelyn, with those legs, she brings power that you don't typically see in the bantamweights like that. Now, there's been times where I think she had a bad weight cut, which led to her bad performances. But if this girl is on like the girl that we usually see, it's gonna be a long night for Nora. And Nora plus 250, Jocelyn -340. I don't think those odds should be that. I don't think Jocelyn should be a 3-1 favorite. Almost a dog. 3-1 favorite. I don't think Nora should be a almost 3-1 dog. But you could give Jocelyn -180 or -200, and I would have been fine with it. But this -340 is a little bit of disrespect to Nora, but Jocelyn's going to get a win, I think. I think the power is going to be too much for Nora. And like I said, she likes to stand and bang, too. When you like to stand and bang like that, you're going to get caught, and you cannot get hit with a kick or a punch from Jocelyn Edwards, because she'll put her lights out really, really quick. 3 out of 5 on the comments level. She can get her hand raised. All right, y'all. This is not going by fast enough. I got to jump on the gun here, so I'm going to get a little bit of faster talking here. Let's go. Match number 9. Flyweight Flyweight male division fight. Alden Correa versus Luis Gurel. Now, I've watched Luis fight a little bit. I have not watched Alden fight that much, and I didn't know much about him. Negative 320 on Alden, plus 245 on Luis. Luis has fought guys that, like, they must think highly of him because the prospects they put him up against is always slouted against him. So he's got to get a win though here, otherwise he'll be an 0-3 in the UFC. Alden, like I said, I don't know much about him. I picked Alden just because he is the 3-1 dog, but it isn't just that. It's because of the way Luis has fought in his 2 fights that I've watched. It just does not impress me. I'm going to go Alden here, 3 out of 5 on the confidence level, but it's a fight game. Anything can happen. That might be one. If you're parlaying, leave that fight off of there because even though it's a 3-1 favorite, you never know, man. You never know. All right, we'll stay in the flyweight division. We get Ode Osborne versus Albini Adiris. Now, Adiris is a negative 138 favorite, whereas Ode plus 112. Ode's got crazy good range, good hands, and power for that flyweight division. Dude doesn't have a gas tank worth the life of him or something, because it'll be the first round, he'll look really great, and he'll get knocked down in the end of the first round. It'll be after the first round, he's just destroyed his opponent, and then the second, it's over. I don't know what side of the coin to flip on Ode. But then Alibi Adiris, look, he's shown me he's good, but he's not shown me he can take out a guy like Ode. If Ode's on, he's not going to take him, but we don't know when Ode is going to show up. So for me, I'm picking Ode because of his reach. It's literally the only factor, I think, where he should have an advantage. So if fight stays at distance and we get the old school Ode, he's getting a win. New Ode, L. Just L. All right. Woo! Trying to get jolted up here right now. Trying to get more energy in here. You know, this should be the featured prelim bout of the evening, but I don't. With Paramount's way they do at UFC, I haven't noticed on these fight nights if they're doing 6 for the main card or 5 fights for the main card. So it's either 6 or 5 for the main card. And yes, I sign language 6 there if you didn't know, not 3. All right. Let's jump into it. Welterweight fight, match like number 7, Chidi Nwoke or Nwokani. Man, I wrote this one wrong, really, really bad. It's Chidi Njoku. That's what I know it is, without even reading it, because I know his name. Carlos versus Carlos Hill. Chidi Njoku versus Carlos Hill. Welterweight fight. Chidi plus 110 underdog, because I think it's because of his age is why they gave him as the underdog. And Carlos Hill, negative 140. It's essentially a pick 'em, but you get a little bit of advantage if you pick the Chidi side. Carlos has got a knockout against someone, his last fight, who I didn't think he would knock out or even fight like that. So that was kind of a shocker. And the way Chidi fought his last fight, it just bad weight cut. That's all I can say. Age or bad weight cut, because he didn't look like the old Chidi. I think we're going to see the old, well, we're not going to see the new Chidi. We're going to see the old Chidi back in the octagon. He's going to get a big win. I just am not a fan of Carlos Leal's game against a guy like Chidi. I think Chidi's counter is going to be too much for him, and going to get a nice knockout in that one. Pick Chidi with a knockout if you want to sweeten the odds. 3 out of 5 on a confidence level. That underdog can cash your check today. All right, we'll jump into the main card of the evening. We're just going to say it and act like it because that's the way it's supposed to be. Match like number 6 here is a middleweight fight. Banger, too. Zachary Reese versus Michel Pereira. Michel is great at the middleweight division. He looks so much better, but there's just something. There's something missing. Whether it's up here or it's in the heart, I don't know. There's something. If he doesn't gas himself after the first round, he's a game fighter, but he's just gassing himself after the first round. Zachary Reese has been in brawls, and I've picked against him too many times. Just too many times to not jump on the bandwagon. Zachary Reese plus 128. Michel Pereira negative 114. I'm going Zachary Reese here. I just think Michel won't be able to come forward against Zach. I think Zach will just dominate on the feet. It goes to the ground. Zach dominates again because Michel Pereira is not that great of a grappler. And yeah, 1 out of 5 though, only on the confidence. Where is Why is the time going by so fast? I'm trying to get this done, guys. Time's going by fast. I'm taking a long time on a fight night. Match like number 5, welterweight fight. 2 undefeated fighters. One making either his second UFC fight or his UFC debut in Josiah Harrell, who is a plus 230 underdog. Jacoby Smith, negative 310 favorite. If you don't know who Jacoby is, these both might be undefeated fighters, but Jacoby has got the skill. The hands are crazy. You don't want to fight this guy in the octagon, and Josiah Harrell signed up for it, and Josiah Harrell is going to get mauled. And I mean absolutely mauled. Jacoby Smith is the future. And if you're just figuring that out now, you're a little late to the party, y'all. Jacoby Smith, big win on Saturday. 3 out of 5 on the comments. So he can get his hand raised. Get back into some ranked fighters here. Match like number 4, heavyweight bout. Sergey Spivak, number 7 in the world, versus Ante Delaja, 9 in the world. Now, Ante is a negative 146 favorite, whereas Sergey is a plus 115 or 14 underdog. Again, I almost screwed you on a dollar. Man, Sergey, the polar bear, pretty sure that's his nickname. I was on his bandwagon. I thought he was the future. Super good grappling. And then he had striking. He had power. Obviously, they're heavyweights. They almost all have power. But his was out there. And then I think he got in his own head and thought he didn't have to work on anything else. Because his game never improved. He was that prospect and never leveled up. Stayed at the same level. Fought guys that just, their levels above him. And he seems like he's starting to get that trajectory back up. But then he's got to fight a guy in Ante. Now, Ante has a crazy knockout and getting knocked out in his first 2 fights and getting in the ranking system pretty quickly. But I think he is number 9 ranked in the world. I think he will take the number 7 ranking, obviously, from Sergey. Sergey's problem is gas tank and cannot take a shot. He's got glass jaw syndrome. It's very unfortunate because he could be a good heavyweight. He could be the next top 5 heavyweight. But he can't put it together. Ante's going to put it together. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that he gets his hand raised. But I shouldn't have put 3 out of 5 because it's heavyweights. We all know how heavyweights go. You can never guess. Anybody can win at any time. Any punch can just devastate your parlay. All right, match like number 3. Featherweight bout. 50K, well, we've got to move that to 75K now, but 50K, Dan Ige is fighting on Saturday versus Meliquasville Costa. Now, Costa's a negative 230 favorite, 50K Ige, plus 176 underdog. Look, man, Costa's a guy who will take a shot to give a shot. And yes, Dan's got that crazy power for featherweights. And everybody overlooks him because of his size. He is kind of small for featherweights. But Costa's got something, man. He's got something in him that not all fighters got, and I just want to say it's that talent, dude. He's just got the talent to be a top-ranked fighter, a top 15 fighter. Costa on Saturday is coming for 50K's number 14. He's 14th ranked in the world. Costa's not ranked. Costa's ranked after Saturday. Big win for him. 50K, Ige, sorry, you're my dude, but talent sometimes, you can just see it. Costa's got it. He could be the future. We don't know. He's still got to level up a little bit, but I think he's above 50K Ige. I think the odds makers got it right. 1 out of 5 on the confidence level. Get his hand raised. Too much talking. Too much to do. Just co-main event of the evening is a banger. Don't miss it. Just don't miss it. Welterweight fight. Jeff Neal, number 12th ranked, is taking on an unranked Euros medic, but Euros is a game fighter. He should be ranked. He had some time off because of an injury. Came back his first fight and got just obliterated and KO'd. And then his last fight, he KO'd somebody. So it's good to see him back in the win column. Again, until he shows me back-to-back fights that he's back there, I'm going Jeff Neal, and here's why. If you didn't hear Jeff Neal's story, This dude he says drugs and alcohol. I don't know what drug or what, we're just going to say alcohol because when you're dealing with stuff like that, I don't know how he could be the type of fighter he was dealing with stuff like that. He's like the longest I've ever been sober in the last however many years is 2 weeks, and it's usually 2 weeks before a fight. And it's not a full 2 weeks, it's just about there. Yeah, dude, how are you fighting tops like Carlos Prates and, oh man, the list of people is fluttered in my brain. But Jeff Neal, I've seen him fight too many times. Ian Machado Gary, I mean, he's fought so many. Shavkat, dude, he's fought everybody. Like, and to have the performances that he's had and to be an addict like that and still make weight and still train and do it, man. Shout out to you, Jeff. That's some crazy stuff right there. And to know you're sober right now, that might be the new Jeff Neal that we're seeing. Fighting a guy like Euros Medic who's we're going like this with. Yeah. You see where I'm going. I'm taking that negative 230 to the bank with Jeff. And I'm going to cash it even more by picking him to win by a finish. Doesn't matter. You can pick KO. I'm going to pick finish even though he's not a known submitter. Just save my ass and get a little better odds. Might as well. Jeff Neal, though, 1 out of 5 on the confidence level. He gets his hand raised because Euros has a crazy 100% finish rate. So he either gets finished or he finishes people. Starts close to 100%. Man, crazy. Just crazy. Do whatever you want, though. Flip the coin. My coin landed on Jeff Neal and sober side. I feel like he's going to do it. All right. Main event of the evening. I've taken way too long. This is way too long of a god dang video for y'all. I say podcast, but it's realistically a video. It's not realistically a podcast, but whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do, we're here. Sean, Strickland, Anthony, Fluffy, Hernandez. Negative 310 on Fluffy, plus 230 on Sean. Sean poked the bear this week. Sean always pokes the bear. But this is a bear you do not poke. You do not poke Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. That dude, he's got everything. Gas tank, hands, striking speed. Got distance. He's tall. He's lanky, just like Sean. Kicks, grappling, gas tank. What does Sean have? Striking. Okay, grappling defense. Stands like a doofus in the ring and it works somehow. Until you find a guy who can find those shots and land power. Yeah, Sean's lights are going outie out. It's going to be like a Alexander Pereira. Oh my God. Not Alexander. Oh my gosh. Alex Pereira. Knockout style. Because you cannot do the whole thing that's going around the country and what he dressed up as and making fun of Mexicans. Horrible. Sean, I know that's who you are. I know that's just the persona you play, but come on, dog. You never worked on anything in your game since the Israel Adesanya win. You've been the same fighter. You got your ass kicked by Drakus twice, and you think that you're not going to get beat up by Fluffy after you say all those things. Sean, number 3 ranked in the world. Fluffy, number 4. Fluffy is finishing Sean on Saturday, and it is just going to be a banger. Just banger. And I'm going to be happy for it because, Sean, you poked the bear, and that's it. All right, y'all. Shout out to Right Way Production Studios for always making this happen. And I believe I'll see you next week.